Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Dr. John O'Keefe, your breakthrough specialist and host for the show Celebrity Entrepreneur, where we'll be talking about creating successes, giving you tips and ideas, and interviewing some of the most successful people in their fields and find out how they're doing it so that you can do the same thing. Today I'm very excited because we have a top attorney with us, Mark Risner. Hi, Mark.
Hello, Dr. John.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
You know, today is really special because this whole show, Mark, is about creating success in times when some people are backing away. This show talks about the top 20% of the people who go out and make a difference in their business, go beyond the fear that holds everybody back. And I sure appreciate you being with me today.
Well, thank you again for having me.
You bet. So, let me ask you this. What are some of the specialties that you embrace?
Well, as a private practice attorney, I often define myself as by what I don't do. And I don't get into family law, I don't get into criminal defense, I don't get into a lot of wills and trusts and estate planning. My focus is mostly on business and contract litigation. This can be, you know, going to court, or it could be just drafting documents.
Okay. And so there must have been, over the years, many cases that are unique to you. Can you tell us about a case that was special, maybe a specific thing that sticks out in your mind?
Well, yes, I can. On the transactional side, had a lady come to me a couple months ago. Looked like she was in a lot of trouble. Her husband had died, and his business partners weren't really giving her the fair share that she was entitled to under the buy-sell agreement. And because that's my specialty, we were able to read through the agreement and work out an arrangement where she was able to get what her husband had intended for her in the case of a death or disability or divorce. So, you know, what I found is, you know, my role is mostly that of a problem solver and getting people to understand how we can find a solution within the framework of the law in today's world.
You know, that's very thoughtful in that process. Most of us, I know I don't know the first thing about where to go in those kind of situations. Can you talk about some specific other stories that you might know of that are key for you?
Sure. Another one that I had was some folks that were getting ready to form a business. And they had been working with some other partners who had just started a business from scratch, hadn't really taken any time to plan out what was involved, and had ended up getting themselves in a lot of trouble. And one of the things I like to focus on is finding out what the clients want to do in the business, focusing on how they can set up the buy-sell agreement so that things are taken care of when and if they go wrong. You know, we talk about the economy ruining business. The truth of the matter is, with small business, it's usually, you know, the three major D's, as I call them: divorce, death, or disability. And a lot of folks don't understand, for example, that if you go into partnership with another person, there aren't two people in the partnership, there's actually four. Those are the respective spouses of each of the other partner. And in California, that spouse has an ownership interest, it's called community property, in the business. So it's important to find a qualified attorney and tax professional who can sit down with you, focus on some of these issues, and work through them so that your business takes off and, you know, flourishes as it's intended. The worst thing people do is just throw something together, they run with it, they don't take time to think about these things, and that's when things wind up in court.
There's so much involved in each one of these things. It's amazing. So how do you define your role as an attorney in these situations?
Well, like I said, John, I think that it's a matter of being a problem solver, really focusing on what the clients want, helping them define the issues and the problems, and then finding that solution. My role, time and again, is one of being a solution finder, issue spotting and solution finding. That's the key. That's what most business people want. They're tough, they're practical, they're looking for results, and that's what I like to deliver.
You know, I can really relate to that. Results is what it's about. When I mentor business people, first thing they talk about is the results that they're wanting to get.
Well, and to your point, Dr. John, you know, results don't come without thought. And I think one of the things that a good attorney will do is help you think through these problems so that you can get to those results you want. I think, as you agree, Dr. John, we really can't do it alone in business. And this is one of the keys to having a good attorney right from the get-go. If you talk to all the people at the Small Business Administration, they will tell you, your banker, whomever, they're always going to tell you, get a good tax professional, get a good attorney if you're going to be in business and be an entrepreneur.
That's great advice. So there you have it. Listening to that advice is so important. So my question for you is, what are you going to do now to take those tips and ideas and better your business, better your life? You know, I don't know if the people out there know it, but you're also a professor of law. That's got to be rewarding. Can you tell us about that?
Well, thank you, Dr. John. Being a professor of law is a very, very heavy responsibility. It allows you to basically pass on a lot of good information to tomorrow's professionals. I generally teach in MBA programs, business law, and also business ethics. And again, my focus in the classroom is pretty much my focus in the courtroom or in the conference room, which is helping people think through the issues and find the solutions that they need. That's the bottom line. And I always like my students to come out prepared, ready to tackle tomorrow's challenges. You know, Dr. John, I make it a point to tell all of my students that they are really tomorrow's business leaders. And whether they realize it or not, they're the ones that are going to be running the Fortune 500 companies in the next 10 to 20 years. So they have to start thinking right now in terms of how to solve problems effectively, how to utilize professionals like attorneys and CPAs so that they can ultimately get a better result for their stockholders and investors.
Great ideas. Thank you so much, Mark, for coming in today. We appreciate it. I know how really busy you are.
Thank you very much, Dr. John.
So there you have it. It's all about results. It's all about getting the right results. So use these tips and tools, ideas in your business, and you're going to create even more things than you thought of before. My question for you is, like Mark said, are you ready to step up and be a leader? It's up to you. You've got some tools now, so this week go out and do it. And remember, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. This is Dr. John O'Keefe, and you've been watching Celebrity Entrepreneur.